I'm here in Tanzania, and for the next week or so, I'm going to be climbing up Mount Kilimanjaro, along with my girlfriend Eve. Now, it's our first time doing it, it's our first time at high altitude, and Eve doesn't really like the cold, so stick around and see how we get on. 6 a.m. on day one. It is. Our trip began at this beautiful farm at the base of the mountain. We took the first recording of our sats and had some breakfast. And then it was time to head off. You ready?
Yeah!
After a bit of a drive along the hectic Tanzanian roads, we made it to the gate. Okay, well, it's finally time. We're at the Lemosho Gate, just arrived, checked in that building. We were actually the first ones to sign in today. And then we're just waiting while they weigh our bags and other kit, because each person that's helping us up can only carry a maximum of 20 kilograms. So they just have to check the weight and make sure that we're not exceeding that. But, you know, we packed as lightly as we could, so hopefully that'll be all good. So yeah, as I mentioned, we're at the Lemosho Gate because we're doing the Lemosho route. I did a lot of research about which route to do, and this one was highly recommended. So it's one we ended up choosing. And it should take us about 8 days, but that's including the descent. So 7 days up to the summit, and then on the 7th day, we come about halfway down, and on the 8th, we come all the way back down. We've started, so yeah, we just left the gate. It's about 12 o'clock, got 5k to do today. The gate where we just had lunch was about 2,000 meters, and I think we're going up to about 2,700 meters. Oh, and we've already been told there's a good chance to see monkeys today, so I'll definitely be keeping my eye out because I'm very excited about that. We're about an hour in and the rain started already, so wet weather gear is on.
This makeshift bag cover.
Yeah, so we didn't bring a bag. I feel like it's like wearing a dunce hat. Put a bin bag on, need to be this silly. That's what I get. There's the camp one. You a bit wet?
Yeah. Turns out rainforests are real.
I'm also a bit wet. Okay, we're in the tent. So that's the door there. Got a little porch area, which is good because it's still raining. Then we turn around. Here it is. So dropped our bags off for us. And it's huge. Loads of space for the two of us. What a way to arrive to Camp 1, eh?
Yeah, we are having some hot chocolate and a big plate of popcorn. And we've already had hot water for washing brought to our tent, which was lovely.
Living in luxury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, going to give you a real quick tour of our camp. So that is our humble abode. It's very spacious inside, actually. And yeah, plenty of space for our mats and sleeping bags and everything. And this one here is the mess tent, which you should see where we're having our hot drink and popcorn. Pretty cozy in there. That's the job. The final one, which feels very luxurious, is our toilet tent. Oh, and we did get to see monkeys. Okay, start day 2. It was an early start this morning.
Yeah.
At what?
5:30. Yeah.
Because they think it's going to be rain this afternoon, so trying to get us up and going straight away to hopefully beat the rain.
Yeah.
The main thing we learned this morning is they don't mess around. As soon as we finish breakfast, that's it, tent's down, and then we had to get packed up, our tent's coming down, and yeah, it's quite the operation there.
All the monkeys are out this morning, there's so many in the trees.
The monkeys are hanging around. So after watching the monkeys once more, we set off for day 2. We had 7 kilometers to cover today to get to Shira Camp. The first part of the day was still in the jungle, surrounded by huge trees. But after a couple hours of walking, we emerged into the moors and suddenly got a real sense of where we were. Now you can tell we're on a mountain now.
Yes, we can indeed. We just came up very big hill and just another one to go.
I'm going up there. And after a bit more slow and steady climbing, we were up in the clouds. Which meant it wasn't long until... more rain. Got our waterproofs on again, and we carry on. We timed it well though, because soon after it started, we spotted our next camp. The first port of call was popcorn and biscuits in the mess tent. And then our daily wash. How have we been washing then?
So we get delivered 2 bowls of hot water in the afternoon, and we get a little soap, and we bought flannels and a little microfiber towel. So we tend to use one for our faces, one for our bodies, and then we do our feet at the end, and it's really nice. Makes us feel fresh.
And once the weather cleared up, we explored the camp a bit. Before settling down for the night. In the morning, we got our first real glimpse of where we were heading. It was raining heavily when we started walking, but it soon eased off and gave way to a beautiful rainbow. Now there isn't too much to report for today, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you what we were eating for an average day on the mountain. Starting with breakfast, which we'd have before leaving camp. Once we had done taking our morning sats, we'd be given a huge bowl of porridge with sultanas, along with a plate of fruit. Then came the toast, egg, and a root vegetable called yam. All of that would power us through for the whole walk before having lunch at the next camp. I'll show you that in a minute, but first it was time to carry on walking, check out the cool trees, and we saw a truck coming down from the last point which can be reached by road vehicles. We had 10 kilometers to do today, but on a mostly flat route, so it wasn't long until we reached Shira II Camp. We signed in at a camp hut, and then it was time for lunch. It always started with some hot soup, and today we got a treat: pizza and pasta. Once we'd eaten as much as we could, including some more fruit, we headed to our tent to hide away from the rain and have a nap. Then it was time for our afternoon snack. This would be either nuts or popcorn with biscuits and a hot cup of cocoa. After that, we enjoyed our first bit of sunshine for a while before dinner time, which also started with hot soup. Then curry, rice, beans, and other veg. So yeah, safe to say we weren't going hungry. On day 4, we woke up to beautiful weather and beautiful views. So in the distance there is Mount Mirror, which looks big from the ground, but looks very small from up here. After taking those in for a minute, we got on our way. Today we had around 9 kilometers to cover, and we'd be going up to a 4,600 meter high point called Lava Tower. You've probably noticed by now that we're walking pretty slowly, or pole pole as they call it in Swahili. They encouraged us to do this from the start to help with adjusting to the altitude. It was weird at first, but we got used to it, and it was nice to take everything in at a slow pace. After about 4 hours of walking pole pole, I just catch my breath. We're at Lava Tower. This is one of the main landmarks on the Lemosho route, and we're now 4,600 meters up. So you can definitely kind of feel that the air is that bit thinner. But because we come up nice and slowly, you know, it doesn't hit you too hard. But yeah, I can feel the difference. You used to be allowed to climb up onto Lava Tower, but Now, it's a bit too dangerous because the rocks are too loose, so they don't let anyone up there anymore. You also used to be able to camp here. This is one of the campsite options. And I think you still can, but it's not recommended because there's no water source here anymore. So it'd mean that porters would have to carry water up, which would be very hard for them. So they don't usually recommend camping here. It's called Lava Tower because it was almost a volcano, but it didn't quite erupt. So instead the lava just kind of pushed the ground up, and that's what created this amazing tower that is huge. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but yeah, it is very tall, like massive building size. Some people have opted to stop and have lunch here, so there's a few mess tents being set up, but we were given the option to just stop here and have a snack and then carry on down to our main camp, which we opted for because we felt bad to make the porters come all the way up here with all the gear, because if they don't have to come up here, they get to take a shorter route straight to the camp that we're at tonight. So yeah, we're about 4 hours into day 4, and we've got about 2 hours of just descent now, which is nice, all downhill, down to the camp. And that's 3,900 meters that we'll be camping.
Felt good to descend for the first time in days, and we saw some cool sights on the way, like these crazy trees. But the first taste of real altitude had its effect on me, and by the time we got to camp, I had a pounding headache and not much of an appetite. But after a decent sleep, I woke up feeling refreshed. Which was good because today we're starting with the Baranco wall, a 257 metre or 843 foot high wall with a single path leading all the way up. It was the only bit of scrambling we did and definitely one of my favourite parts of the whole climb.
Okay.
We're good.
Good.
It's steep and you have to watch your step.
You follow his steps.
The views just kept getting better. And on the way up, we saw some crazy ice and these plants that look golden. The top felt like a mini summit and was pretty busy even first thing in the morning. From here though, the real summit felt like it was in touching distance.
What do you reckon, mate? 5 minutes go there?
Yeah, I think so, just after that. But I reckon we got it nailed.
The rest of the path that day was undulating, and once again we were surrounded by cloud cover. It wasn't long though until we reached the valley we had to drop into before ascending back up into our camp for the night, called Karanga Camp.
Day 5 is complete, which is pretty crazy. This camp's just under 4,000 meters up, and tomorrow we go to base camp, which is crazy to say. So yeah, day after tomorrow we summit.
With that thought resting on our minds, we took in the incredible views and called it a night.
Okay, we're off for day 6. It's really getting real now. So we've got about 3 hours up to base camp, and then have some food, rest there for a while, and then up again at midnight and head to the summit. Mixed feelings this morning of excitement and nervousness. Base camp's 4,600 meters again, so that's what we went up to at Lava Tower. And yeah, see how we get on.
What I haven't mentioned yet are the porters. Without them, we simply wouldn't have made it anywhere near this point. Their fitness and resilience is incredible, and they were always in high spirits. We had 13 porters just for the two of us, who packed our camp up every morning, then flew past us and had it set up at the next camp long before we got there. And of course, the chef making us an absolute feast every day. We really were treated like royalty.
We can see base camp up on that next ridge. That's where we're going.
That's right, day 6 was a short one, about 3 kilometers, which was good because we were definitely feeling the altitude at this point.
Base camp, or Barafu Camp, we've made it. Very high up now, 4673 in meters. But it was a good day. It took us just under 3 hours, and so far we're feeling good. So tomorrow is the big day. This afternoon, go and have lunch, relax, have dinner, then try and get some sleep, and up at midnight to leave at 1 a.m. and go up there.
We were feeling nervous. With all the time, effort and money we'd invested, we really wanted to get to that summit. So we ate as much food as we could manage while taking in the incredible views. Then settled down at about 7 p.m. to try and get some rest. At midnight, we got up again in the pitch black, with pretty much no sleep and the most layers I've ever worn, because it was cold. For the first few hours, all we could see were the spots of light from our head torches. The terrain was rocky and steep, and the combination of altitude and lack of sleep was making everything feel a little bit harder. We took breaks every so often, but it was so cold that we didn't want to stop for too long. After a while though, the sun started to emerge, which we thought would make things easier. And it did start warming us up, but it also meant we could see further ahead for the first time, and the summit just didn't seem to be getting any closer. It was a proper mental battle on this last section, but we just took it one step at a time, until...
We've made it. We've actually made it to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is pretty crazy. This last section up to Stella's Point was really hard.
So you actually get to an area called Stella Point first, where you can start taking in the views before heading along this ridgeline to the true summit. And what struck me along here is how little glacier is left. Ice and snow used to cover this whole area and even go all the way down to base camp, but it's now shrunk by over 90%. These glaciers provide water to villages surrounding Kilimanjaro, but some of the rivers that used to carry this water have already completely dried up. This final push was tough, but after about half an hour, we made it to Uhuru Peak. It really did feel like the top of the world up here. We got our shot with the summit sign, along with a lot of other people, and tried our best to take it all in. The air was thin up here though, and despite the week of walking to get here, we could only manage about 15 minutes before the dizziness and nausea started to set in. So it was time to head down. It's a loose and rocky descent from the top, but our bodies were happy to be going down, and we quickly felt better because of it. After just over an hour, we were buzzing to get back to our tent and have a nap, because we were exhausted.
Feeling
Tired. A bit sore, but better than I did when we first finished.
yeah. It's going to be a slow march down to Lemosho Camp, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think as we get down, and we'll start to kind of be able to register what we've done.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, true. Hasn't really hit home yet.
No.
Yeah, we managed to nap for a bit, but our brains were still frazzled. We had a few more kilometers of descending to do though to get down to our camp for the night, called High Camp. We then took our sats for the final time. We'd done this twice a day at each camp to keep track of our blood oxygen saturation, heart rate, respiration rate, water intake, and doses of Diamox, and we were happy that we'd had good figures throughout the trip. To top off this unreal day, Victor and Emmanuel had organised a special request from us of fish curry and ugali for a celebratory dinner, and it was delicious. On day 8, our final day on the mountain, it was time to descend all the way down to the gate. Before we start on that though, you might be wondering what the toilet setups are, so let me show you the two options. So each campsite has these public toilet buildings, which are long drop toilets split up into men's and women's, and these will tend to be tourists only because the porters will use different long drop toilets. The other option is a private toilet, which looks something like this, which is what we found most people go for because it's a bit more hygienic and it means that it's part of your campsite, so you don't have to walk all the way to the building, especially when it's cold at night. So this gets set up along with the camp in this little tent, and in our case it's just a small plastic toilet that has a bag inside which gets swapped out every so often. It felt so fast and easy to descend after all that climbing, and it was incredible to move back through all the different terrains. We'd heard a few helicopters while we were on the mountain, but now we were getting a clear view of them. You take a different route down to the way you come up in order to help with foot traffic. Porters do come up this route though in order to go as far as Millennium Camp and all the way back down in a single day, which is wild. This final day shouldn't be underestimated. It was a lot of walking for our tired bodies and minds, but it also gave us plenty of time to reflect. It had been an incredible week, which at this point still didn't feel real. We'd been dreaming of this trip for years, and we were so lucky that it turned out to be everything we hoped for. Our guide company Sene ensured everything ran smoothly, and getting to stay on their farm really added to our trip. There's a link to their website in the description if you're interested. And I might be biased, but I think Victor and Emmanuel are the best guides you can get. Coming into this trek, I thought the summit would be the main highlight, but looking back on it, it's the journey through the different environments and the people we met along the way that made this trip truly special. We were almost at the bottom now, so we said goodbye to the monkeys, checked out the final sign, signed ourselves out, and then it was time to party. We enjoyed a final lunch at Sene's farm along with the rest of the team, and I had one of the most satisfying beers I've ever had. We said our thank yous to all these amazing people that had made this trip so unforgettable, and then it was time to say farewell.
Jambo kana, habari gani, nzuri sana, wageni, wakaribishwa, Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata.